Hey, this is Shriyari from Mr. Phone, and we finally have the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus in the house. Of course, this is the most favorite color of a lot of people, and we have that here. And in this video, we're going to show you 10 tips and tricks, 10 unique tips and tricks for the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus to get you started on your journey, or maybe just have fun while you're waiting for your new phone to come in. If you want to see more content from the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus, then don't forget to subscribe to the Mr. Phone channel and also hit the bell icon because camera comparisons and reviews for the smartphone are coming very soon. So just keep your eyes glued to the Mr. Phone channel because interesting content coming up. Get you started with the Note 10 Plus, and there are a ton of things that you can watch, but in this video we're going to give you 10 tips. And the first tip is something that you'll notice straight away when you buy this phone, and that is the fact that the power button, there's no power button on the right side. Every phone that you buy today, every phone that's in the market, even the iPhones have the power button on the right, and here you have the power button and the volume button on the left and no Bixby button. That is because the Bixby button has also been implemented into this, and when you long press that button you actually get Bixby. Well, that poses a problem because generally in other phones, when you want to switch off your phone or restart your phone, you actually do this, you long press the power button. But here Bixby opens up. To actually close the phone or shut down the phone, you actually have to click the volume down and the power button together, and then you'll be able to come to this menu. Well, there's an easier way to do this. You can actually change this. So what do? You just scroll this down, you press this menu. You can come to this, of course, that is an option, but you can also go to side key settings and you can choose for press and hold, you can choose power off menu. Now once you do that, when you long press to the power button, you'll come to the power menu. Now, of course, everyone buys a flagship phone to do a lot of things, including shooting a lot of videos. That's what you do with your phone. Now, of course, you can shoot 4K with a lot of phones. Even other flagships also do 4K at 60 FPS. There's stabilization in a lot of them. But the Samsung phones, for that matter, and the Note 10 Plus or the Note 10 here, does something special, and that is actually shoot video in HDR, shoot better video, better dynamic range, which can be actually played back using HDR display. So for that, what you have to do is actually go into the camera settings, as you just saw here, go into video, go into settings here, and you can click advanced settings, and there you have HDR 10 plus video. You can of course turn that off if you want. You'll not get that amount of quality with your videos, but if you turn this on, you actually have the option to shoot HDR 10 plus video right out of your phones, which there are very few phones in the world that can do that. Now, the next tip is not necessarily for general use, but there are people who might find the use for this, and that is screen recording. Now, imagine that you're doing something on your phone, getting some work done, and you want to share what you're doing with someone, maybe record your screen. That is not necessarily for general use, but there are people who have use for it. And what Samsung has done is that they've actually implemented screen recording into the phone by default out of the box. And all you have to do for that is actually get your notification panel down. And now once you go to the quick settings panel, you can quickly go to the side and click on screen recording, and you will be able to directly record anything that's happening on your screen. So maybe like you are doing something, going through something, maybe playing some music on Apple Music, maybe writing something down and showing it to someone. So you can do all that and screen recording is happening. When you want to stop, you just click stop and the recording has been saved in your gallery. Now, the next tip, interestingly, happens to be a continuation of this, and that is the ability to play with videos once you're done shooting. Now, let's take the video that we just shot here. Now, what can we do with it? Now, I'm actually not kidding right here. What you can do is there are, of course, gestures with the S Pen, but what you can do right now is edit this video. But what you can do right now is actually edit this video frame by frame if you want. Maybe you don't want to keep all of it, so you can reduce the time that you want to. You can actually add different layers of overlay on it if you want. You can change the color and the way it looks. You can add subtitles as well. So you can add subtitles if you want CC into the image, you can do that. You can add stickers, you can add different palettes of, you can doodle on the display. So you can do all that stuff You can actually ramp up the speed or ramp down the speed of the video if you want, and add music in the end as well if you want. So that is the level of editing that you get just inside a phone. This is certainly a Note, and it is called a Note for a reason. You can do this kind of a power stuff. You can shoot video, you can shoot HDR10 plus video using this phone, and you can edit videos using the phone itself. So you do not need a laptop to do that. Now another thing that you can do with camera, because there are a ton of camera features on this phone, and that is the fact that consider that you're shooting something and you want to zoom into a subject or zoom into a person who's talking in front of you. Well, when you zoom, of course the camera goes into him, but the microphone still stays away because the phone is in your hand, and the audio of that person or the audio of the thing does not come in as well as the camera goes near him. Now what you can do for that is simply go into the settings, choose advanced recording options, and you can add this. What is this? This is called zoom in mic. What it does is that if you zoom in the video, the mic's gain will also increase and it'll take the audio for the larger distance. Now this might not be as perfect as actually going closer to that person, but this does help if you shoot a lot with your smartphone and you keep zooming in and zooming out. Of course, now with the advanced gestures that are there on the Note 10 Plus, this is a very useful feature. Now talking about that S Pen, there are a ton of things that you can do with the S Pen. You can already see a few here, so you can play pause if you want with it. You can increase the volume if you want. The volume goes up, the volume goes down. So you can do all those things. If you want, you can keep it, or if you want, you can take it up as well if you want, just with using this pen. So there are things that you can do with this. If you want to go back, you can see all those gestures being recognized here. So if you want to go back like this. So now the S Pen is out. There are a ton of features here. Now another thing that you can do with the S Pen, of course, apart from other gesture things which the pen wasn't exactly supposed to do, if you go into the Samsung Notes app, you can actually now not just scribble, because that you could already do, but you can also make sure that your handwriting is actually recognized. So what you can do is, go right here, maybe, hey, this is Shri. I wrote in such a bad handwriting and it was still able to recognize what I wrote there. So you can actually do that, just convert this. So you can keep writing things and keep converting, and so you can have a text document for yourself while having the pleasure of actually writing it down. What you can also do is, apart from the fact that you can write this, you can also search using handwriting. So if you search hey, it actually brings up results. Now, you've just bought a new Samsung Note 10 Plus and all your friends want to check that phone out. But of course, you have your personal information, your personal apps on it. What do? Well, you can actually simply go into the home screen settings. That's here. You can go to the bottom of that list, and here you have the option to hide apps. So what you can do is maybe hide 2 apps here. Let's try that. And once you hit apply, in an instant that app is gone. So now you cannot find the Airtel app and that SIM app here, and you're actually saved from your friends. When you're done showing it to your friends, you can actually go down, go to hide apps, and just get these apps out. Now the fact that all this is happening in an instant is a true testament to how powerful this all new Note is. Now, if you saw any marketing commercials, you'll know that there are a ton of gestures happening. Now, we just saw a few here, but there are a ton of things that you can do with the camera. So if you can just hold the button here and you swipe, you can actually swipe between different modes if you want, like that. You can actually do this. If you go to one, if you do it like this, if you just take it up or down, you can switch between the front or the back camera. So that's fun things to do. Now, if you want to zoom into your picture, it's almost like Harry Potter's wand. We've come back to Hogwarts, but you can actually do a roll and wait as long as you want to zoom, then just stop. If you want to go back, you just roll it backwards and just wait and precisely stop at whatever number you want. So now once you're done setting up your camera, you've set your angle, you've set your beautiful anchor, and now you can just click that button and your video is shooting. Now this is very useful stuff for people who shoot a lot on their own. They have this magic wand in their hands that they can use to trigger the camera to do different things with the camera and make sure that all of it has been done seamlessly. You also have AR face emoji, which is a part of this. What you can do is, let's choose a beautiful color. Blue looks like a beautiful color. And I can just draw a little mustache. Oh, that's not looking good in blue. Let's take a darker shade. Why do I have, like, let's draw some blush for me. So you do these things if you want, of course. You also have the option to do this in an environment if you want. If you change your camera, you can actually do this in an environment near you. So if you write this here, you can have the camera track that thing. So these are some fun things that you can do with the Note 10 Plus's camera. Now, having that gorgeous display and that immense power underneath, you of course want to do a lot of gaming on this phone. Now, of course, when you're gaming, you want awesome audio as well. Now, how do you do that? Now, simply you can go into the sounds and vibration, and this phone, because it's powered by Dolby Atmos, that happens in all the music apps and whatever you're listening to or whatever you're watching. But for games as well, you can actually turn that on. So go into settings, you can go into advanced sound settings. If you go to sound quality and effects, you actually have the option to not only turn Dolby Atmos, but also have Dolby Atmos for gaming. So if you turn that on, now when you play games, you'll actually have Dolby Atmos happening also on the game. Now the last tip is that now you can connect your Note 10 or Note 10 Plus to a Windows PC, not just using DeX, which also you can do, but you can also do that. Now it's not as good a sync as you find with iPhones and MacBooks, but there is an amount of sync, and the fact that you can do this that simply, you can simply go into the quick settings panel and click this link to Windows and you're there. So once you click this button, you can instantly start linking. You can do that with your Microsoft Windows laptop, and once you're done, you can actually have your messages coming in, your calls coming in, all of those things happening on the Microsoft, and you can have all those things happening on your laptop. What that means is that now it's not just iPhones and MacBook owners who can have that kind of sync, but you can also do that with your Note 10 Plus and any Windows laptop. So those were the 10 tips and tricks of the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus. Let me know how many tips and tricks were there that you don't know already, because our audience, as I've said before, is a very informed one. They know more than us. So of course, there are a lot of features you already know, but let us know if there were any that were very useful to you or something that you're looking forward to be using if you buy a Note 10 Plus. But with that, I leave you to it. Thank you so much for watching. This is Sri Hari from Mr. Phone with the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus, and I'll catch you in the next one.